Yeah.
All right, sure. Shekhar, stay on with me. In fact, a statement has now come in from former Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. He's spoken out amid ED raids at his residence. Vijayan stated, and I quote, do not indulge in wishful thinking that CPIM can be weakened through such actions. The Enforcement Directorate conducted searches at the residence of Pinarayi Vijayan, of course, viewers. And now the former CM is saying not to indulge in wishful thinking that CPIM can be weakened through such actions. So very clearly, the statement of Vijayan are only motivating the CPIM workers who are already there at protest, who are already vandalizing and clashing with the police.
Absolutely, Kriti. So this is Pinarayi Vijayan's, breaking the silence, and he said that we will not be cowed down with such intimidatory tactics is what. So this, he didn't say this. Even his son-in-law in Kozhikode, while his residence was searched by the ED officials, he had also told the same thing, and he was defending his wife Veena Vijayan, that she was indeed doing everything legally, and they could they are ready to get challenged before any court for that matter. So this was what was being conveyed, especially at these prominent politicians' houses in Kerala, wherein tens and hundreds of people, the party workers, have gathered in front of them, and certainly this kind of statements will kind of instigate the crowd to indulge in vandalism. As of now, we are told that the police have registered a few cases. However, there are no confirmation as to who the complainant is, and this is a case of vandalization that had happened in front of Pinarayi Vijayan's house. The government property vehicles were damaged, and certainly the police who had indulged in mild lathi charge would have videographed all these incidents, and these people who had engaged in vandalizing government property will certainly be brought to book, Kriti.
In fact, viewers, let's tell you, CPIM is also now protesting in Delhi, and Annie Raja is leading this march in the national capital. Those are the visuals on your screens. CPIM protesters are also in Delhi, and the march in Delhi is being led by Annie Raja. They're raising slogans against the RSS, BJP and Vidhi Satisan. And some protesters outside Vijayan's residence are carrying out this sloganeering. So in Delhi and Kerala, both places, protests are being staged. All right, Belly, but what is the merit of these protests when there is a valid case against Vijayan's daughter? The fact that they will say the former chief minister did not know that her daughter was getting all this money for no services provided in return. Did he not see that coming?
Absolutely, Kriti. So this is the kind of narrative that is being tried to being established by the party who is now in the opposition in Kerala, with the ED officials coming in a day after the Kerala High Court lifted a stay on this Enforcement Directorate registering a money laundering case earlier that was in the Kerala High Court, and a day after the court lifted its stay, it was then the ED officials conducted these searches and raids. They would have got some documents, they wouldn't have got some documents, that's secondary. But what had transpired is that the entire CPM camp had made it political, stating that there was a serious fraud investigating office that had conducted a probe into this case, and they had submitted a 160-page report wherein the accused names were even mentioned, including that of Veena Vijayan and another employee, along with 25 others from the Exalogic company, an IT firm which had allegedly taken around 1.72 crores from the CMRL, which is a state-owned company. So what we are given to understand that there are no answers from the accused on what basis was this 1.72 crore that was transacted from the CMRL to the Exalogic. So when the Exalogic had done no services there was no services that the CMRL needs to pay to Exalogic. So this was the crux of the case, and that was in High Court. And a day after the High Court lifted the stay, the ED officials came soon after conducting searches and raids at 10 to 12 locations linked to Pinarayi Vijayan and his family members. So now the CPIM has taken it political with conveying the message to the party workers that it is a kind of a political targeting by the BJP and the union government. So the protests are indeed carried out. They were kind of mobilized, and they had been asked to gather in front of both Pinarayi Vijayan's house and the places where the ED are conducting raids. And similarly, they are also being asked to protest in the national capital as well, sending a message to the union government and to the BJP high command, saying that they wouldn't tolerate any political attacks or targeting like this, whether they are in the ruling, whether they are in the opposition.
In fact, these are the live visuals coming